This video is for multifamily investors and the brokers who serve them. We're going to reveal what the number one trait is, what the number one thing is that multifamily investors look for in the broker and why. And I promise you, you're not going to guess what it is. Stick around. Let's go. I was recently on Shane Melanson's podcast called The Investing Advantage, and we discussed what the number one thing was that investors were looking for in their broker. So brokers, I hope you're paying attention. Take a listen. The number one thing that investors look for in a broker, and I do a lot of polling on LinkedIn, so I'm referencing my website right now. I've actually created a page on my website about all my polls. I did a poll recently that said, what is the most important trait you look for when hiring a multifamily listing agent to sell your asset? And the four choices I gave was experience, number of years you've been in the business, your sales volume, the size of your brokerage, CB Richard Ellis, Marcus & Millichap, Coldwell Banker, whoever, independent, whoever you are. And the fourth one was likability and reachability. Now, the likability and reachability I put in there because I couldn't think of anything else. Like I was just like, okay, LinkedIn allows you to do four choices and I put it in there. Guess what the number one choice was? 51% of investors said likability and reachability was the number one thing they choose. Now, why am I saying that? Well, because giving out information and being a resource and giving value and adding value and not trying to just make a commission is likability and being able to be reached. One of the main complaints about brokers is you never get a hold of guys. And you may get my voicemail a lot. I'm on the phone a lot, but I'm gonna call you right back. 51% said likability. Number two was sales volume, 32%. What I thought the answer was going to be, and it's probably just because of my own personal bias and having been scared to death that when I sold my Coldwell Banker commercial last year and I went independent, part of my angst was, I'm not CB Richard Ellis. I'm not Marcus & Millichap. Are people still going to use me? They're still going to follow me. Do you know what percent of investors said the size of the brokerage was the most important thing?
I'm going to guess like 0 or 1%. One person said it.
1% gave a about what company you were with. And I've always thought it in my mind that investors follow agents, not companies.
Correct.
And so I've always felt like if the big nationals would take all those spending dollars they spend all over the place saying, we have this many agents and we do this much sales volume and we're the number one company. If they just took that money and put it in the hands of a guy like Shane, okay, when you were with your other brokerage, who Shane is phenomenal at marketing, could do more for that company than that company can do for themselves. If you put that money into the hands of a Beau, I'll make NAI, Marcus & Millichap, CB Richard Ellis cars sing, dude. They've got to change their game or they're going to have more and more guys like me go independent and I'm keeping all my franchise fees and I'm keeping all my cuts with the house and I'm just going to make a killing.
It's so funny you say that. I remember when I was at Avison and I really liked the company. I was honored to be, I was honored to be there. But one of the challenges was half goes to the house. And at a certain point I said, is the house bringing me deals or am I having to go out and earn these deals? So how does this relate to an investor? Well, knowing this, it's like Beau doesn't need to do twice as many deals because he doesn't have to give half to the house, for example. And you can focus on doing less and really working with, and it's another reason why some of the big shops kind of shy away from doing small deals, and at least in my experience. Like by the time that you got 5 people on a team, 50% goes to the house and each person gets their cut. And then you got a marketing person. There's so many mouths to feed that this is what goes on behind the scenes. So even though you think you're writing a $250,000 check, at the end of the day, the guy's like, okay, well, that was a lot of work to make 15 grand or something, right?
And in speaking with my multifamily broker friends, it often goes the same way with how we choose investors. Brokers want to spend time and do business with successful investors that we like to be around, that we jive with. I hope this video had some value. And if it did, please give me a like right down below and make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know of each video each week. See you guys in the next one.